Hi guys, before I welcome you back to another one, I just want to let you guys know of a charity live stream that is happening this Sunday on April 19th. It is MSF for MSF. This charity event was put together by Apollo P13. He has asked me to be a part of this upcoming weekend, and I have agreed to do so. This charity live stream is going to go for 24 hours. It's going to feature some of your favorite Marvel Strike Force content creators. I will be streaming live at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on April 19th, so come check me out that time. Everyone else's time, I'm pretty sure there's a schedule coming out at some point. I just don't have it yet for you guys, but I did want you guys to make you aware of this. This is happening this Sunday. Come check it out, show some love, support some charity. And in case you don't know what MSF stands for, it's basically the French version of what in America we call Doctors Without Borders. And now let's get into the intro of the video. Hi guys, welcome back for another one. I am Mr. Free to Play. That is right, I'm a free to play player, and I give free to play player advice, tips, tricks, and other things. In this video, well, we're going to review the top 5 heroes I believe that should get a rework in this game. So if you're ready for it, sit back, relax, and let's get into it. Alright guys, wasting no time, let's get into number 5, Star-Lord. Alright, you guys may be asking, why is Star-Lord on this list? Well, let's think about it. How useful is Star-Lord in the meta anymore? He's one of those legendary characters that are falling off hardcore, like really bad, and he really needs to be brought back to life, or he's going to have to go the way of Iron Man to be put in like a 24/7 legendary farm, which to me, I don't think should happen. I just think he needs a little bit of rework to make him a little bit more viable, and here's what I would change. First off, we need to look at his base stat of focus. For a legendary character, remember guys, once again, 132 tunes in the game, he is tied for 24th lowest focus in the game. Okay, now I want you to think about a special where he applies blinds. His focus needs to be increased to guarantee that blind, because I don't know about you guys, but I've had it happen to me several times, if not more often than not, where I go to apply blinds and no blinds get applied. The entire special is wasted. That's why also I would like to see added to his special that he gains evade on that move. And you can have it increase percentage until he reaches the level 7 in his special, and at that point it should be 100% he gains evade. And then Star-Lord's ult. Attack primary target for 550% damage, gain an assist from a guardian ally, always gain an additional assist from a random ally. I like his ult as it is. The one thing that I think they should add to it is that he clears all buffs on that attack. That allows the assist to get through with no resistance, like they don't have to hit through defense down or extra deflects or whatever else annoyance that he has. These little changes could bring him back to the meta. I think he really needs some touch and love because, like I said, as legendaries go, he is falling off really hard ever since the power creep of U7 and the new tier events. Like he's fallen off. Alright, and at number 4, sticking with the legendary category, or at least pseudo-legendary, Iron Man. Alright, so let's go over what's the positives about him, because when I reviewed his kit, I was like, he sounds good, but he's actually not as good as his kit makes him sound. So here's some things we need to review. First off, base stats. He's actually tied for the 3rd highest armor in the game. He has a 25% chance to crit at all times, which is tied for 1st in the game, which is the highest number any character has. He is tied for the 12th top damage stat in the game. But here's the kicker, and this is when I did my research, what I found really odd about a lot of these kits. Is like most blasters in this game, they have a high base damage stat, but yet the percentage of damage their moves do is actually less than in other categories, where like a controller will have so much less damage power, but the percentage that their base move does is so much higher than a blaster's, which I understand for balance reasons it's got to be that way, but it actually makes no sense if you really think about it. It's like, why have a damage stat or a percentage stat at all? It's kind of the way I feel about it, and I also understand why it's there, but it's like, yeah, too much tuning. Alright, looking at Iron Man's basic and special, I think they're fine as written. I just think either one, damage needs to be increased, or he needs to add debuffs or remove buffs. He has to do one of those things with that move, because like I said, as a legendary character that is not super easy to get as a free-to-play player, trust me, I still don't have a 7-star Iron Man while I have a 7-star Magneto. In Star-Lord, I still don't have a 7-star Iron Man. He's available all the time. Now his ult, attack primary target for 600% damage. Here's where I'd like to see a new mechanic added into the game. I think simply it should be put, that move ignores death proof. So if a character has death proof, it will not save them from being knocked out by Iron Man. No other character has that unless they double tap or triple tap or quadruple tap. But one shot move, no one ignores death proof to wipe a character out. I like to see that be the very first character to actually get that ability. And then Iron Man's passive. Gain 15% extra crit chance, apply 15% extra crit chance to tech allies, apply 10% extra crit chance to all allies, gain 5% damage for each power armor ally. Now I get it that he got a buff to this passive when he was part of the, got added to power armor when Rescue came out. But one thing I don't understand is why he has no synergy with any Avengers. Why isn't Avengers in this coding at all? I think he should have a synergy with Avengers to make another team that he could be either or. So if someone doesn't want to go try farm Rescue, well, they can use an Avenger team. So one simple change here, I would just like to see him add defense up on spawn to all Avenger allies. Simple, done, makes him a little bit more valuable than what he currently is. Next up, number 3. A fact, this character was number 1 on my list until I actually did research on him, and then I was like, okay, I get why he's not that great for me, but I understand why later he actually can become a much better character, and that, my friends, is Wolverine. So first, some base stats on Wolverine. For one, he has the second lowest resistance in the game, which means any debuff you want to apply to him, he's probably going to get without much resistance. He also has the 5th lowest armor stat in the game, which I can be okay with. There's still so many more toons that I believe should have lower armor than him, but it is what it is. Let's move on. So his crit chance is 20%, which is much better than the average in the game. Well, the average, the standard in the game. The standard in the game that every character at least has a 10% chance to crit. So his is double that at 20. And the biggest change I want to see with Wolverine is him to be less reliant on being on an X-Men team for him to be a good character. On an X-Men team, he is a great character. He gets so many boosts from being around other X-Men that it's almost crazy to think about it. And he gets way more boost than any other toon in the game for being with any other person, a team, or anything like that. And this is where I usually have my biggest issue with Wolverine. This is why I don't think Wolverine's a good character, because I don't have a full X-Men team yet as a free-to-play player. And most free-to-play player, early game, mid-game players may not have an X-Men team, and you guys probably think Wolverine sucks, and you're probably right. The other cool thing about him is that his attacks are all piercing, which means he ignores the armor stats. No matter what armor a character has, he's always going to hit through it, which is a pretty cool thing that he does. So getting into more details of what I'm talking about, let's look at his special. Attack primary target for 150% piercing, plus apply bleed on crit, chain to 4 targets for 120% piercing, plus apply bleed on crit. And then he gets, if Phoenix is an ally, the primary target takes 350% piercing instead. Okay, so let's get this straight. He is going from 150% to 350% of Phoenix and ally. That's a 200% increase. No other toon in this game gets that much increase from one other toon being their ally. That's insane. Let's keep going, keep reading before I tell you what I'm going to change. If Cyclops is an ally, all secondary attacks have a 100% chance to crit. So all secondary attacks are guaranteed to crit. Counterattacks breaks this change. If Psylocke is an ally, this attack cannot be counterattacked. So yeah, insane amount of synergy with other X-Men that he gets buffs that no other character gets. What I would like to see is this number be scaled back from having these people as allies and be applied just to his basic. If you split the difference between the boost he gets from Phoenix and what his basic is, I think that's much more reasonable. So that would bring it up to about 250, which I believe is a good number for him to have. He's still going to do a lot more damage, and I think that's great for him as a solo character. And the whole entire crit chance on if Cyclops is an ally, I don't know about that, but it is what it is. And the fact is, when I was reviewing his kit, I pretty much just threw my hands up and like, they broke Wolverine. There is no way for him to ever be a good standalone character with his kit. It would take a full rework of his entire top to bottom, which I'm not even going to get into or even try to take a shot at. He basically, you need to run him in X-Men for him to be good, and other than that, he's not. And that's all I have to say about it. Let's move on. At number 2, a character I believe could become a very good utility character in this game with a slight change, Hawkeye. First off, base stats. Yes, a lot of these hero reworks I'm focusing on their base stats because it's the main reason why they're not as good as they could be in some of these cases, or they have the potential to be great and they're not. Anyways, his damage stat is actually 26th lowest in the game, so he's not going to apply a lot of damage. He also has the 19th lowest health in the game, so at 130 tunes, he's not even in the top 100 for any category. Well, at least those two categories. So, looking at his basic special, alt, and his assist and counter thing, I think it's just simple. Either increase his base damage or increase the percentage these moves do. They're all pretty low given his damage, which makes him obsolete, which is a shame because his kit's actually pretty decent. And then the only change I'd make to his kit at all is on his passive. So first it reads, on turn, 50% chance to attack an enemy with stealth for 200% unavoidable damage. Clear stealth from that enemy. I think he could be a great Asgardian counter, assuming he has survivability and the right team around him. But I would change that passive to especially when it's maxed, from 50% to 100% chance to attack an enemy with stealth. Remember, it's just one, it's random if there's multiples in stealth, but you can imagine the damage he could do on just an automatic thing against a team with stealth. I think that's great. It makes him a very unique character if they just really just turn him up and put that as the focus. Oh man, I think Hawkeye could be great with just those little simple fixes, and that's it. Let's move into my number one pick. And where do I begin with this one? Because my list is long of things that need to be fixed with this one, and that, my friends, is Night Nurse. The damage stat, she's the lowest in the game. No surprising, even when I get into like what her abilities are or lack thereof abilities, it does make sense that she probably should have the lowest damage in the game. You know, you'd have to review based on base character, but she should have one of the lowest in the game. She's also tied for 7th lowest in armor. She's a nurse, no superpower. Should she have armor? I don't know, but she's got the 7th lowest in the game. Yeah, so yeah, I basically come to the conclusion that 1, she has no superpower, and 2, she's not very popular because that's the only graphic I could find. So in the game, she's mainly used for healing. I would like to see her be turned into a big healer for city heroes, with synergy with non-Spider-Verse characters. So kind of like how I did Kingpin yesterday, Night Nurse kind of the same way today, because in the comics she has crossover. I'm trying to remember all she had crossover with. I know Daredevil and Punisher. I'm not sure. Can't think if she had any other interactions with other heroes, but those are the ones that I know for sure. So I would like to see her just be big. Let Spider-Verse be their own thing in the city category, but then have another category of city heroes that do not revolve around Spider-Verse, and I think she should be the top healer for them. So first off, her basic, attack primary target for 250% damage plus 50% chance to apply slow for 2 turns. Once again, with a T4 investment at max level, that should be 100%. Her special reads, heal the lowest health ally for 4,200 health plus 20% of this character's max health. I think with the title First Aid, I think at max level, it should be added that she has a 100% chance to remove debuffs from the lowest health ally also. I think that will make a lot more sustainability, get rid of like someone who's like has a bleed on them, you know, she is a nurse, or anything like that. It'd just be great if that was added there also. Don't overtune the healing. I think we should wait for the alt for the overtune of healing, but here we go. So our alt, heal all allies for 3,200 health plus 10% of this character's max health. Applied 2 regeneration to each ally. So you guys have to bear with me. I'm not going to add a lot of extra healing here because I want you guys to wait for the passive. Alright, so this move doesn't begin with any energy on it, and it takes 4 turns before she gets max energy. So I think she should start with 2 charges. That way, at least on turn 2, she's able to alt. And then the only thing I would add to this is that Night Nurse goes into stealth after using this move. It just keeps her sustainability and allows at least her to get 1 more charge on it before her next turn. Right? We don't want to make her easy to be knocked out or easy to get rid of. Alright, and then her passive. On turn, if an ally with the least health has less than 100% of health, 25% chance to heal them for 15% of this character's max health. First of all, the 25% chance should be changed to 50% at max level. And then I would add, on spawn, Night Nurse gets 5% max health for each non-Spider-Verse city hero ally. So this makes it if you would put her on a team of defenders, possibly replacing Punisher on that team. Now I get it, you already have Iron Fist, so this is just an example. But her health base stat would go from, at max level with max red stars, from 159,045 to 190,857, which would still only make her the 50th highest health in the game. Not even breaking her, only taking her up to number 50 of health, and that would actually add to her special in her alt where she uses the percentage of her max health to heal somebody. Alright guys, and that is my list. Please let me know down below what you guys think of it. Did I go too far? Not far enough? Was I missing somebody? And on the fact of missing somebody, if you're wondering why Deadpool and Cable did not show up in this list, I want you guys to stay tuned on this channel, turn on those notifications, subscribe, because I'm going to be addressing that very, very soon. And hit that like up button, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Bye.